The Jalili from a long line of Jalilis, and welcome back, people. Arsenal won, Man City won, 4-1 on penalties. Pre-season is over. Pre-season is over. I'm one of these guys, that calls this a pre-season friendly, but we got people that call it a trophy, which in a sense it is, but without disrespecting, it's one of the lesser ones for me, just, growing up and how I look at it. But, as I said, pre-season's over. It was a good game, you get me, against last season's first and second. So, it looks good and it feels good to beat them, even if it is in a friendly. But there were some things that we could take away from the game, you get me, for the start of the season, for sure. And obviously winning it, lifting it, that makes it just a little bit better. But overall, the game was alright. Like, they had a couple of first team players missing. So did we. But both teams still put out a good team, strong team. There was big players still on the pitch. Obviously, De Bruyne didn't start for them, which you could say is big. Other than that, yeah, they just had De Bruyne missing and we had Zinchenko missing. But the way Timber's playing, he might not walk straight back into the team, but we get onto that a bit later. And then we had Jesus missing, which my man playing up there, maybe would have been a bit different, but we roll with the punches, as they say, you get me? And we had Havertz up there, which we will get into. Yeah, but other than that, there's a strong team from both sides. Big players out there. Haaland was out there for them. Yeah, they had Diaz, they had Rodri. Yeah, that's their spine. Yeah, we had our kind of spine. Yeah, missing obviously Jesus, but yeah, man. Strong team. Obviously, they had Edison missing. Which is a big part of their game. But Pep held his guns, Cup games he plays his reserve keeper. We don't have that luxury. Hopefully we will do, if we do sign Reina. And this is where I'll get into it and start with Ramsdale. For me, man of the match. He saved us in that game, especially in the second half. Like, he made those two big saves. And with the pressure of another incoming keeper, it's kind of stepped him up still. Like, he stepped up his game still. Like, he saved a penalty in another friendly. He saved a penalty in this game. Suspect on the playing out from the back, which I think he could improve. But with my man coming in, I think it'll be good pressure. It won't be like negative pressure. I think it'll be good pressure for him to keep him on his toes, for him to get better, not get too comfortable and complacent. It's more like he's going to be on it all the time still. And you can see that still, because things that we want him to improve on, I think it's taken away from what he's also good at. Because it's not like you're supposed to train your weaknesses, you get me? But I think he would have developed other things, like maybe commanding his box and stuff like this, if he didn't have to focus on playing out with his feet, because that's not one of his strong attributes. But he's training that, so as a goalkeeper, he's slacking maybe the command or the penalty saving aspect of his thing. So I think if he steps that up, and then as well as getting that playing out from the back, like, he doesn't have to be world class with his feet, but he has to be good. But then, as I said, focusing on that can then not make him world class keeper and then a good keeper. We don't really want that. Yeah, but we need to find that good balance where he's like world class and very good, not good and good on both aspects, as a keeper and playing out with his feet, playing out the ball from the back. So it's him, and even White has that kind of problem still, I think, where he's trying to focus on being attackive. It's taken away from his defensive attributes, which so far have just looks like it just come naturally. He's athletic, he's in a good place. Yeah, so it was easy for him. But now because he's focusing on playing, running up and down, supporting, it's kind of taken away from his kind of defensive kind of bit. But we'll see, we'll see. It's better that he does it now than later. But if you look at someone like Stones, like he's very good defensively, and then now he's becoming good at playing, which has worked for him. But it took a little bit longer. But I can see Arteta trying to do something similar with him. But he was good today, man. He got burnt once or twice. And that's my only concern with him, is the not quantity of times he's getting burnt, but it's the quality. When he gets burnt, he's left for dead. And because Saliba's there, it makes it, yeah, he gets away with it. But when Saliba wasn't there, like last season, we saw. Yeah, Ben White did good still. And then we go to the other side. Yeah, left back, Timber. He was good, boy. He was wicked. Like, the thing that I liked was the recovery pace. And even just defending, like, my man could defend still. Even, I think there was one where, was it Foden or someone got in, and then as he's walking back to the huddle, he's like, yeah, too much space. Like, he knew, like, he was actively, judging himself, but in a positive way, like, right, yeah, I fucked up, that was my fault. But he still dealt with it. It's not like, right, it was my fault and then we got burnt. It was like, right, it's my fault, too much space. So he knows. And to be playing left back like the way he was, I think that is sick still, like, and he could do what he's doing. It's going to be nuts still. It's going to be nuts with Zinchenko coming back. I don't think that's going to be straightforward, but, you know, I'd rather have that headache than have the headache of not having suitable left backs. Yeah, this whole back line has done that. Like, not even the Invincibles had a back line like this in the sense of options. You get me? We was very these 4, maybe 5 players that will play and will get over the line. Whereas now, if everyone's fully fit and actually on board with Arteta's trying to say, boy, that combination can be nuts still. Going on to the centre back pairing of Gabriel and Saliba. Yeah, them two was on it still. Them two were like, nothing had changed. They just had continued. Saliba, I think there was one time where they got in behind Saliba and it was like, yeah, that's still rusty. We saw that a couple of times in pre-seasons, but other than that, he had it. There was a couple of times in sticky positions. He was turning out. Like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy we signed him on a new contract still. Like, give him about 2-3 years. I think he'll be, if not the best, definitely top 3 best centre-backs in the league still. It's bold, but brother, this brother's 21 and he's doing everything. Like, I think there was a time where, was it Kovacic as well? I think that was in the first half where he was coming through and there's like 4 or 5 players. You could just see my man just look at him and not watch the ball and then just cut him off and then went out for a goal kick. Like, he's maturing for his age real quick. So, yeah, I don't think that's a wild statement. Yeah, we move up into the midfield now because Rice and Partey, it was looking good still. It was looking really good. Obviously, I like this time wasting thing, and if you kick the ball away, because it was supposed to be like this anyway. So let's give thanks to the Qatar World Cup, you get me, because they showed, man, how it's supposed to be. And now all of a sudden we're following suit, you get me? Even though the laws was that, bruv. If you're time wasting or if you're getting in the way kicking the ball, that's why we was getting mad. So now you're implementing it. They always do this kind of, this fuckeries where they want to keep their control still, because that's what it comes down to for me anyway, is control thing. Because this was the rules, man. Kick it away, time wasting and that, you book man and all of this nonsense. But it wasn't happening for like good 4 or 5 years. Like, man was still getting fouled and looking at the referee and kick the ball over that way, you get me, taking time and all of this nonsense. Now you yellow carded, man, it was cool. But the shit that pisses me off is the inconsistency. And man, I was watching on ITV and I hear, man, I think he was an ex-Arsenal brother commentating, and he was like, yeah, in the first half and in the second, bullshit, blood, because they both did the same thing. You get me? Havertz kick, man, to trip man over. Yes, that was blatant. But man pulling man's shirt and turning man and tugging man on the turn is exactly the same thing. So let's be consistent. It don't matter if it's the first, second, third, or the 95th, or like today, 101 minute. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Yellow card. You get me? That's what we want. Consistency. If you're not going to do it properly. You get me? My man didn't want to give a yellow card in the second half near the end, because then that means it would have been, instead of 8 minutes extra time, it would have been 8.5. So they would have most probably made it 9 minutes. You get me? Instead of making it 8 minutes, 30 seconds, they would have made it 9 minutes. So my man didn't want to give the yellow card. All of that shit. Nah. It's a yellow card, it's a yellow card. Extra time is extra time. You add that on. But yes, Partey got that nice and early. It had to kind of shut him down. But I think for the first half an hour, it was more Man City. And then you see Declan Rice kind of go in that position. He started dropping in between the two centre-backs. And Partey was like on the halfway line. And then it moved a bit more with intent still. Like, we got through, we got on the back. You get me? Saka went one-on-one with Akanji, beat him. And then that first one for Havertz, yeah, I didn't want to speak on it, but it's because of the movement. We're still talking on the midfield, but just quickly, that was behind him. You get me? But we'll move back to that. Let's stay on the midfield. When Rice dropped in there, you get me, started playing, I think we had more intent still. But then it's like after that we grew into the game. That midfield started growing still. So them two interchanging look good still, but we're missing that what Xhaka did. But that's because that whole left-hand side up to before Martinelli is kind of changed. We've got Timber. Now we've got Rice playing there. I think in the long term, I would want them to switch positions, because I think Partey will be better winning the second balls and stuff like that, and let Rice sit there, because I think that will be his long-term position. But that can happen like in January or in 10-15 games time. It doesn't need to happen right now. We don't need to force nothing, because right now it's looking good still. It's looking good. I'll keep it like how it was. Yeah, so them two's all good. Obviously Odegaard as well. Look like nothing changed from last season. It looks like he's still in the same, same rhythm. And I love the way his work ethic. Like, I think that's one of his best attributes. The closing down, the running down. You get me? Not the passing and the linking up. His dribbling's improved though. My man did a couple of turns and that's breaking ankles like it was basketball and that. Like, you get me? Like, it was sick still. His dribbling's improved. But he runs though. He runs. He's a proper horse. You get me? He's just running up and down, running up and down. You get me? His work rate is second to none still. But yeah, the midfield was solid still. The midfield was nice. And then let's start with Havertz. Let's start with Havertz and then we'll go to the wingers. You get me? Havertz up front was okay today. And I'm going to give you a quote from a wise man before I get into it, breaking down the actions and that. The wise man once said, "It's better to have chances and miss them than having no chances." And what's meant by that is, if you've got no chances to miss, you're going to have to focus on making chances. But if the chances are coming and you're missing them, the next progression for that is to not miss them. So, you get me? I'd rather look at it like that. Better to have chances and miss them than not have no chances. And that's the quote from the wise man, and hopefully he leaves a comment in the comment section, you get me? But yeah, like, the first one, it was a bit behind him. He had to turn around and whatever. Yeah, that one, you could get away with it. We'll say defensive pressure, good save from the keeper. But the second one that he had, it was similar. That one, I'm not even going to say it was a good save. I would just say it was a poor shot. It was a scuff shot. Like, if you just strike the ball and the keeper saved it, parried it over, wide, whatever, I would have been like, okay, cool. But that shot there, it was weak. And constructive criticism, bro, you need to start putting them away still. But saying that, keep it up, man. It was all good. I think we saw a little bit more when he dropped in the midfield and Trossard came on. Obviously, he scored the goal. But yeah, like that little movement dynamic there, I like it still. I think he should stay there because of circumstances, Jesus being injured. So I think he should stay there. But Trossard's going to give him a run for his money. But yeah, other than that, Havertz is, you know what I mean, it's okay for me. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. And I'm going to say what I'm going to say about the wingers now. And it's just constructive criticism. They both played well. But what I'm going to say, I think Martinelli did a bit better. And I think playing against oppositions like the Man Cities, these men are going to have to do this. And it's the tracking back. And it's the key moments of tracking back as well. Sometimes when their fullback is whatever, not there, them doing that extra bit or being a bit further down, you get me? They might just have to do that, you get me? Like, and I'm going to give you the prime example, is Grealish. And something that comes to my head is that Man City-Liverpool game. And I remember, I think Liverpool winning at this time, or I can't remember. I think Liverpool was winning at this time, but all I remember is Grealish coming back, winning the ball off Salah, and I swear within like the next minute or two, they went the other way and they scored. You get me? But it was what he did there, and I think that's what improved Grealish's second half of last season, was the work rate, his defensive work rate, and it was just the moments. It wasn't like, the full 90 minutes he was playing fucking left back or right back. No, it's those moments, and Martinelli was doing that still, because obviously we paid respect to Man City. Saka was doing it, but it was a bit slack, and then it was throwing up arms in the air a little bit. Like, yeah, in the big teams that are going to be like toe-to-toe with us, that's where them man I think can improve. But then obviously when it's teams that we're dominating, they can kind of leave those alone. But it's having that switch, that switch to say, oh shit, I need to start doing this, rather than, oh shit, we're 1-0 down, no. This is the experience, and this is what man needs from them now. Like, they need to have that switch where they could go, boom, yeah, now I need to do this now. You get me? And it might not be for 90 minutes, but they need to have that switch. Like, I think that's where the constructive criticism come for them and them there still. But other than that, they were wicked still. They were doing what they were doing. Martinelli had his head up a bit more. He wasn't running so much with his head down. You get me? Saka and Saka and Ben White. That relationship there is what's mad still. Like, it's difficult to take White out of the team, because I think with anybody else, they're going to have to build that. Even with Odegaard, them three there, that right-hand side is slick still. That right-hand side is slick. But yeah, even the subs, like, I was happy with Trossard. I was a bit upset why he didn't start, but we won in the end, so yeah, we can't cuss. But Emil Smith-Rowe and Vieira's looking like he's getting that confidence now still. Like, everything that we was worried about, it seems to have come, and hopefully it's at the right time. Like, we might have a little gem on our hand, but having them two come off, it had some energy, but it was mad. Like, alright, it's a friendly still, but if they could keep this up, like, I wouldn't mind them man coming off the bench, because them man had like energy, plus they were inserted. They wasn't really like just riding a wave kind of thing. Like, they was there, they was present. Like, man could see them. Emil Smith-Rowe dropping deep, trying to get the ball, trying to play 1-2s and that, keep the ball rolling and that. And then even with Vieira, he was out on that right hand side, you get me? And even when Saka was there, like, Saka was coming more in, and then he was staying out wide. Like, I liked that, and that's what I kind of wanted still. Hopefully he could get into that role slick, you get me, real quick. But those two was doing good, you get me? I think it was a bit lucky for our goal, but the penalties were on point, you get me? Can't wait for the season to start, man. I've been waffling on, it's almost been 20 minutes and that, but yeah, man, the season's back, pre-season's over, you get me? Like, can't wait, people, can't wait. So yes, help a brother out, do the usual, subscribe and that, like, share, bare minimum, you get me? Even if you don't like me, even if you don't, you get me? If you my network people, help a brother out, you get me? I know people say they don't like that I swear, and I'm trying to take all of this on board, but then I don't want to change who I am either. I'm a comedian by nature. I want you to take everything that I'm saying with a pinch of salt. See some consistency in that. You get me? But people, help a brother out. Until then, next time, I'm out. Peace.